question about tuning drum sounds comes up fairly regularly, and some people do actually consider the tuning of their drum sounds. Some people don't. Okay, so there's no hard and fast rules. But if you're building a track and you want things to kind of sit in a kind of musical harmony, then you might want to consider trying to get things matching. So there's a couple of things that you can do to help yourselves spot this stuff. If you haven't got pitch perfect ears and the ability to pick out the note in a kick drum, for example, there is a tool that you can use to help. It's not 100% accurate, but it can work in a lot of circumstances. So I've got an ES2 loaded here with a sine wave. All right, so I'm going to double click on this so you can see it. I'm just going to play on the keyboard, and I'm going to play C, D, E, F, and G. So there's the musical notes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in on the insert, going to come down here, and we've got something on metering called tuner. This is a guitar tuner. Okay, so it's been designed to help people get their guitar strings in tune. Let me see what happens if I play the keys. So I'm going to do the same again. Now you can see it accurately tracks the note. Let me do that again for you. So look, C, D, E, F, and G. So it's telling us what notes are actually playing. This works with monophonic stuff. Don't expect that it can do things like spot chords and stuff like that. It's just going to get confused. So when you've got a simple single note, it spots what the actual pitch is. So what we could do is, let me just bring up the mixer. I'm going to take the tuner and I'm going to make a copy and place it onto these other two channel strips. I've got two Ultra Beats loaded, one with electronic drums, one with sample drums. So if I pick up the tuner, I'm going to hold down Command and Alt, just drag a copy. I'm going to do this over here so that we've got now the tuner available on the electronic drums. I'm going to take the solo off of the ES2, solo the electronic drums, and let me bring this up for you so you can see. Let me clear this one out of the way for the moment as well. I've got soloed here a kick drum. This is electronically generated, so it's a sine wave of pitch modulation to create the kick. And the tuning of this, if I hold this down, this is set at 49 Hertz. So you can see there, G0. Let's see if the tuner can pick this one out. Let's play the kick. So you can see that it's actually picking out the correct note in that kick. So there is some pitch modulation, so that's at the very beginning of the sound and the attack of the sound itself. But there is a long note in there that it's managing to pick out. Now, if you were making a track and you were having a thing like a bass line and other elements, you might want to make them work with G. Okay, so that's letting you see what's going on there. If you've already got your music elements and you want to make your kick different, you can click on here on the tuning and you can lift it up. And you can see actually the tuner is being very accurate on this example. So everything that I'm doing here on the Ultra Beat is being accurately reflected on the tuner. So it's actually picking it out very well. Let's take this one off and let's now click on this sample drums. So this is the other Ultra Beat. Let me bring this up. Let's take away this tuner and let's bring in the tuner that's on the sample drums. So here I've got a rough kind of grainy hip hop style kick. Let's have a listen. Right, you can see there it tried and it tried to get like an F sharp. Let me lengthen the decay. There we go. It's able to pick it up a little bit better now. So F0 it reckons. Let's see how close that is. I'm going to find F0 on my keyboard on my sine wave. Let's have a look. Let's try and find that. So C, D, E, F. Let's have a listen to this. Let's take the solo off. I think that's pretty spot on actually. Let me go the octave lower. So there's the F. Let's have a look on the tuner here. F0. Now that does sound like that's the note to me. Okay, let's have a listen again. Let's compare. You can definitely hear that in there. So this at the moment, this sample, the pitch C3 is just the root note. So that doesn't relate to the actual pitch in that sample. You can't expect here for this to be accurate. So what you'll need to do is to adjust the pitch and then reference the tuner. So it's showing you the G sharp now. And A. Take it lower. Very, very low. So you can use the tuning to try and get things matching up. So, if you're a musically trained person, you're going to find that job a lot easier. If you're not, then you are, of course, going to find it difficult. But at least here is a way that you can analyze the way that, these pitches are in these drum sounds. It's even the case with snares, like electronic snares. I'll just show you here. So if we take this one away, there's now solo again, the electronic snares. And what we've got here is the kit with the, there's a snare here. So look, let me right click on here. Let's take away all of these. So I've got a snare drum, which is generated by basically phase oscillators and noise. So there's a few elements in there, but there will be a pitch. So you can hear a note in there. F is trying to pick it up. Well, you can see here actually on this phase oscillator that F2 is in there. If we take away the noise and the other one, let's lengthen the decay. There we go, F2. So it's pretty good in terms of its ability to spot these notes. Sometimes you will need to lengthen your sample in order for it to do it, but that's going to give you a guide. So using the tuner can help you analyze the actual musical notes if you're not musically trained. Even if you are musically trained, it might still be a handy tool for you to use, because then you can try and work out things that work nicely together within your musical elements and also your drum elements.